Hi, I'm Nick Shell, and I talk about hair loss, and from a kind of the psychological point of view. You know, it's a pine tree. That is, I did not know I was able to, that comments would show up on a pine tree. I was used to the other, like that. Okay, well, I'll just go with it. Lots of surprises today. Okay, so I made a video. It's getting a lot of comments, this video that I did. Proof my hair is thinner, not thicker than you think. So I got a comment, several comments, but here's another one. I guess forgive me for putting an American pronunciation on this name, but I'm gonna go with Stefane Dorian. Is that pretty close? Stefane says, quote, "We all know you're bald. Why don't you do a buzz cut?" End quote. So that was the comment that I received. And then a day later, another comment popped up from him as well. He did, actually, end quote. That was the other quote. So we all know you're going bald. Why don't you do a buzz cut? And then I guess he realized that that's how this all started out with these hair videos. Is that I started out by doing buzz cuts, and that was my original audience. So let's talk more about that. This is a frequently asked question, but because my channel is growing at the rate it is, I mean, I've grown 10 times since a year ago. And yeah, I know well, Nick, you don't even have 1,000 subscribers yet. You've only got like almost 900. But still though, like I'm having to always like keep my new audience, the newest members, informed of what's going on here. So, and perhaps my answer today is a little bit updated. So obviously, you know, I've been slipping in little things about how my New Year's resolution is to find my twin, my doppelganger, on the sign or the package of that Campbell's soup. So that's one thing I got going on. By default, I can't come in here because if I'm trying to find that guy, how uncool would it be if I've got a buzz cut and he's still got, you know, this hairstyle which he had in that package. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, just scroll down and you'll see the video. I mentioned it here recently a lot, but then there's one specifically I did last week on it. So again, it makes no sense to have hair much shorter than this if I'm trying to look like the guy who has this kind of hair, right? But other reasons are boring. Like that was an interesting reason. One of the boring reasons why I don't buzz my hair, even if it weren't for me trying to find the guy from the soup package, is because when I started really focusing on doing hair videos over a year ago, I realized there was only so much I could do with it personally, or so much that I wanted to do with it. If I were to, as a YouTuber, if I were to do videos about shaving my head, well, see, I've already done one. Here's number 1 guard. Here's number 2. You know, so I did those, and those do well. Those videos have done well. But after I shaved my head and I talked about how liberating it was and how I recommend it and it's great, there pretty much wasn't much to say after that. So another reason that is a boring reason is, as a YouTuber who's, you know, wanting to grow my channel, I realized that while people did like those videos, I ran out of content. And the only way I felt I could get more content out of it was to be more technical and like show how-tos. And honestly, that bored me. For me, I didn't want to do that. It was too technical. And if my heart's not in it, I'm not going to be good at it, and I'm not going to do it. So I'm going to leave that to other guys out there. There's plenty of guys out there that shave their head, and that's their whole channel. And that's a lot of their content. I'm gonna leave that to them. They find pleasure out of doing that. I find boredom out of doing videos like that. What I'd rather do is have hair for these videos to talk about the hair loss and to show more of that intermediate stage that I'm at, where, you know, roughly, I don't know, you know, a third of my viewers are younger than me and have less hair, and then a third of them are older than me and have more hair, and then maybe a third are somewhat near me. I think that's it makes me a better host, and it helps my audience relate to me better instead of just being the guy that talks about you know, buzzing his head all the time. So, you know, if that's of interest to you, I mean, look at some of my older videos, but also look at other channels, because that's their thing and it's not mine. Maybe eventually it will be. I guess we'll see how long I hold on to my hair here, but it's all about being a believable and realistic host as a YouTuber. And, you know, it's very important to me that I'm genuine, and again, that my heart's in it. My heart's not into doing videos about buzz cuts, even though I enjoy having one. It's just That's not what my heart is about right now. And that's not really where the conversation is taking us. When I look at what is interesting people about my videos, it's not about that stuff, it's about this other stuff. So that's my boring answer on why I don't just buzz my hair off, even if everyone knows I'm balding. That's why I don't just go ahead and do it. And then I'm trying to, is there a third reason? I like to try to keep things in like 3s or 5, like odd numbers. I guess if there was, a final reason, it would simply just be that I am curious how much longer I can get away with having hair. And yeah, this is a good reason, actually. Since I started the rosemary oil Christmas weekend, people have noticed that my hair looks thicker. And maybe the rosemary oil, for whatever reason, might help the appearance of it and all that. But it's interesting because my hair, even though I know I need a haircut, it's at an interesting length that I haven't had it for in years, and that my hair is actually thick on the sides. So even though I'm in need of a trim, I get it. But with it being longer, see, this summer I had it long on top but short on the sides. But it seems to work for me better just having this vague cloud over my head like this, and it just distracts from the hairline. So I'm just also experimenting with links for anyone else who has a similar hairline as me. How long can you have your hair? How can you have your hair and still get away with it without making it look like you're desperate to still have hair? Because I think we'd all agree, if we're all being honest, it doesn't look like I'm desperate to hide hair loss. This isn't like a comb over. This is just kind of eventually heading that direction, but not right now. And I think a lot of men my age have this kind of hair, and you don't think about it. I mean, I just don't think most people would even notice that I have a receding hairline if I didn't talk about it in my channel. So, hope that answers your question, and keep the questions coming. And now I will fade into oblivion.